So this is the Ankara that I'll be using. Okay, so folding my fabric now, I would calculate my shoulder measurement plus my sleeve length. So now for my shoulder measurement is 16 inches, my sleeve length is 10.5 plus ½ inch for seam allowance, that would be 11. So 11 plus 8 is the half of my shoulder measurement, so plus 8, so that will be 19 inches, right? So I'll be folding 17 inches, right? Okay, and my length is going to be just this. So I'll just get the edge of my Ankara fabric. So this is the edge, and you see this is the edge. So all I will do is to fold this way. Okay, fold this way, and I'll be folding 17. So this is what I have. Can you see? I have laid it. Look at the opened part and look at the folded part. So now I will measure from here to here. I'll measure 1 inch as my guideline. So here is my guideline. Okay, so I'll measure 3 by 3 is the standard neck standard measurement, 3. Okay, so from here to here I'll measure 8 inches, which is the half of my shoulder. I was about cutting and I discovered that my camera was not. So anyway, I'll be explaining to you how to make this particular kimono dress on your screen, this particular one that you're watching or seeing on your screen right now. So I have my neck width, which is 3 inches, and of course my shoulder measurement is 16 inches from one shoulder to the other, and I divided this by 2 to have 8 inches. So from this edge to this point now is my 8 inches, which is my shoulder measurement. So you can see that I had already noted 2 points. Okay, 3 inches here, 8 inches here, right? If you look at it very well, this design, you will notice that there is a plain fabric that is being attached to the length of the sleeve. Okay, so I'll be doing exactly the same thing here as well. So for my plain fabric, I will be using just 2 inches as my width. Okay, so this is going to be completing the rest of the sleeve, right? So altogether my sleeve length will be 10.5 inches. Okay, 10.5 inches as my sleeve length from the shoulder down to the arm, 10.5 inches. Then that 10.5 inches minus 2 inches, because I'm still going to be adding plain fabric to it. So, and the plain fabric, like I said, is going to be 2 inches. So I'll be left with 8.5 inches. And that 8.5 inches plus ½ inch seam allowance, because I will be joining it too, joining allowance of ½ inch added to the 8.5 inches will give me 9 inches. And that is the 9 inches that I inserted from this my 8 inches mark to this point. Okay, so let me just show you how accurate I am. So from here down to here, can you see? 9 inches. Okay, so this is what I have. And from here to here, like I said, is 3 inches, which is the standard neck width measurement. Okay, so from these 3 inches, on this 8 inches mark, I came down by ½ inch and I marked. So I connected, a straight line from this 3 inches to the ½ inch that I marked below the 8 inches mark. I hope you can see what I've done here. So I already had a slope, okay, from these 3 inches to the below the 8 inches. I already had a slope, okay. Then on this line, this is my 9 inches, which is the end of this fabric, the end of my sleeve length for now, because I'm still going to add something to it. So from this point, my guideline, I came down by 1.5 inches. So this line now, I will just connect. Well, I had done that already, so I'll just place it this way and continue the line to the 1.5 inches line that I have here. This is it, right? So on this slope that started from here, I measured from the 3 inches to this point, 3/4 inch, which is 0.75, and from here my neck depth 1 inches, because I want to cut the back first. Okay, so from this guideline down 1 inch, and this 1 inch I connected with a slight curve to this 3/4 inch. So altogether my neck width is 3 3/4, which is 3.75. so this is my neck line. Okay, and of course from the neckline I went up like this by 3/8 of an inch, which is serving as my seam allowance. So I just drew the line like this till this point, and I raised it up. So my seam allowance for the shoulder, I just came up from here up to 1/2 inch, and I connected the 1/2 inch straight down to the end. So this is going to be my seam allowance on the shoulder. Okay, now my sleeve opening. Okay, sleeve opening is from this point down. So this sleeve opening for me is 10 inches. Okay, and I added 1 inch to that to make 11. Sorry, ignore these 2 lines. I made a mistake. So ignore these 2 lines. So this is it. So all together I have 11 inches. So from this point, please, not from the seam allowance, from this very point to 11. You can see my marking there. Okay, sorry, just about 1 inch below. That's about 1 inch below. I just, I balled it. Okay, I didn't bother to mark. From here, the folded edge down into the fabric is your hip measurement divided by 4, then plus 4 inches. But in my case, I added 3.5 inches. Okay, so I added 3.5 to my hip round divided by 4. So and I measured it from the edge. Can you see? So, and this is going to be from here down, all the same measurement. I'm not shaping it. All right, so like this. So this is what I have. And because this is just 1/2 inch, from here to here is 17, and which covers my neck measurement, my shoulder, and the sleeve length. So it's just 17. And here I have 16.5, and that's why it's remaining just 1/2 inch. Okay, so that's why I couldn't really curve it much here. Okay, so all I'm going to do right now is to cut. And I've already marked it. I connected the point from here to here, from here to here, connected it with a straight line down, right? So can you see what I have right now? I'll measure my length right from this guideline to down. I have 44.5. I have 44.5. So remember that I'm going to be joining plain fabric to it. So, and it's going to take like 1/2 inch as my seam allowance. So if I add 2 inches to it, that means altogether I'll be having 46 as my length instead of 46.5, which is not bad. Okay, now I'll be folding this fabric again, and I'll be cutting out the same thing, right? Okay, so can you see what I have? I have cut it out. So I will now place the first one that I cut, or I've already done, inserted the measurement. So I'll just, because it will be easier this way, I will ensure it aligns properly. Okay, especially on this folded edge that is meant to be the center, front, and the back. So the next thing I need to do right now is to cut the back neck. Okay, so this is the back neck. So this is the 11 inches. From here to here, 11 inches. Okay, so just mark the 11 inches this way, and there's no need of curving it. Okay, I'll do the curving by the time I'll do the curving when I'm ready, and I'll be explaining to you how. Okay, so all I need to do now is to cut, just use the first one, the fabric piece, as a template to cut in the down part. You can see that I made the down part a bit more, okay, in terms of width than the first one. Okay, So can you see what I have right now? I am done with the cutting, and I will be removing this first part. Okay, if you need a pocket, please, you need to insert your waist measurements. So all I need to do now is to come here and measure my waist measurements, okay, from my shoulder to my waist. So then from my shoulder to my waist, you note it here. Okay, for example, if mine is here, okay, so maybe somewhere around here. Usually I do add 3 inches to it, so I'll just measure 3 inches down. Okay, from here I'll measure 3 inches down, but you can do 2 inches or 1 inch, but I don't want it to be too up, so that's why I'm measuring 3 inches down. So this is where my pocket is going to, so all I will do now is just to notch this part, because I'll be cutting out the pocket. So I just notch. So this is where my pocket is going to be attached, and I am good to go, right? So all I need to do right now is just to remove this. Then I can now remeasure my neck depth for the front. All right, so I need to measure 7 inches. So here, the neck depth for the back is 1 inch. So I'll just add 6 more inches to that to make 7. So I'll come down by 6 and mark. Okay, and you can do 8 inches if you want it down. So altogether I have 7 inches for my front, so, and I'll connect it to this point. So this is what I have. So I just went in by quarter here and I connected it. Okay, so all I need now is just what, measure like 3/8 of an inch as my seam allowance. Then I will be cutting, and this will make the difference between my front and my back. So this is what I have. Okay, so I will go over to the detail that is on the front of the dress. So for the detail on the dress, I'm going to measure 6 inches from the edge of the paper, and with this I will fold over. So that means I have, measured 12 inches. Okay, because 6 inches on fold, that is all together is 12 inches. So here I will just measure like 1 inch down. Sorry, 18 inches. From here, 18 inches. And connect this way. Okay. So I'll just cut out as shown. So this is what I have. So right now I'll be measuring 1 inch. Okay, and this 1 inch is going to serve as my guideline. Okay, this is my guideline. Okay, so which means the length of the detail is actually 17 and not 18 inches. I hope you understand. So right now I will be placing my Ankara fabric, and with this point on the guideline. Okay, so just make sure everything aligns properly and trace out the neckline with the seam allowance on the shoulder, and look at what I have. So I'll cut it out. And this is what I have. So I'll just pin down this way because I'll be measuring about 2.5 inches. So here I'll measure 2.5 inches. And the same measurement on the original shoulder line. Okay. And here where the neck ends, I will measure 4 inches inward. And here I will measure 5 inches upward and mark. Okay, so right now from the shoulder down to the 4 inches marking or point, then to the 5 inches point. Okay, you can use your curve ruler to do that. And from this 5 inches, I will just connect down to the pointed edge, okay, at the bottom of the paper. So this is what I have. I'm just cutting out. And here is my final. Can you see what I have right now? So comparing it with the picture. So right now, to cut my pocket bag, I will fold my fabric this way and place my entire arm on top of it this way and trace out. Now, you know, when you want to put your hand inside your pocket, this is how it looks. Okay, so this is what I have. Just trace it out this way. It has to be slanted. So add your seam allowance before cutting out the shape. So I'm holding this together with my pin because I have 4 pieces all together. Okay. So this is what I have. Can you see? One side is up and the other is down. So this is how it will look like when you're, inserting your hand into your pocket. So for the down part and the sleeve part, or of course the longer one is for the down part, I cut 2 and the shorter one is for the sleeve part, and everything is 5 inches. So when you're folding, it will be 2.5. That half will be for the seam allowance. I hope you understand. So here I have cut out my detail, and here I'll place it on the wrong side. Okay, and I've already added my interfacing on it, you can see. So I placed it on the wrong side and I will sew. So here I have completed the stitching, you can see. So I'll just turn it to the right side. But before I do that, I'm notching it so that by the time I turn it and I iron it, it will stay properly. So I'm just turning it to the right side. So here I'll just use my iron to remove it. I didn't do that. I did that off camera. Okay, I didn't show that. So here I'm just placing it properly while I use my iron to press. Now for my facing for the back, this is how I cut it. I just placed a paper under it and I traced it out. Now the length here is 3 inches, okay? And the shoulder is the same thing as the front, right? So I'll cut it out and put my interfacing on the wrong side. So here I am done ironing, and this is what I have. So I'm just notching every side, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4. It has 4 sides, so I'm notching all the sides so that I can tuck it in, tuck half an inch seam allowance in and iron it. So here I have tucked it in, I am ironing it before I will stitch, okay? So can you see what I have right now? I have tucked it in and I've ironed it. So the seam allowance is under it. Can you see? So this is what I will do. I will just sew round. I will stitch it down round. Okay, and for the length for the down part. This is how I'm going to do it. Okay, I will just join it this way and it will look this way. Okay, here I am done stitching down. Can you see how everything is, looking very neat, beautifully stitched? So now for the front, I have joined the down part and I've also done the back as well. This is the down part of the back, and on the neck part I have attached the facing. Okay, this is the facing and I've attached it neatly with 1/2 inch seam allowance, 1/2 inch or 3/8, depends on the allowance that you added. So here I'm placing the wrong side, the right side of the front on the right side of the back, and here I'm putting the shoulders together and using the facing of the back, to cover up the front shoulder, and I will stitch down from that neck point down to the end. Okay, and once I'm done, I'll just attach this plain fabric to it, opening it up and attach. So here I am done joining the shoulders, and I have also attached the plain fabric to it to complete the length. Okay, like I said, the width of this is 5 inches, so folding like this is 2.5, and the 1/2 inch will be used for seam allowance. So you can see how I tucked in the seam allowance with the seam allowance of the plain fabric. Can you see? So I'll just stitch down on the right side. Can you see? I'll just stitch from the beginning to the end. Okay, so this is what I have, and I've done that already. Okay, so for my pocket bag, I will attach with pins first, and here the upper part, the highest part is what you're going to add to the notch. Just place it on the notched parts and attach with pins first, right side to right side. Okay, so this is what I have. This is for the front, and for the back you attach the upper part is going to be the one up, the lower will be for the lower part. So, and you attach just the way you attach to the front side as well. So then you now turn to the wrong side. Okay, so now using the seam line on the shoulder as your guide, just bring the sleeve openings together, bring it together. Okay, and you use pin just to hold it. Then you bring the pocket bags together as well. Now it's time to join the sides, and this is what you do. Just bring everything together and attach with pins. Okay, so here to remeasure my sleeve opening, just place your tape, bring it down to the amount or to the measurement that you already had. Okay, and you mark and cut. Here I didn't cut through, I just wanted to be careful. Okay, so but this is just like a guide for me doing it this way. So I attached with pins, of course, and the next thing is for me to now sew from here like that to the pocket bags round, then down. Okay, I will do this on both sides. So here I am done. Okay, so the next thing for me is to trim out. Okay, to avoid making mistakes. That was why I didn't do it this way the first time. Okay, I just wanted to wait till I'm being able to finish joining the side. So you can see how I'm able to trim out neatly. You can see the curvy part, okay? And I'll do exactly the same thing here as well. You know, I said that I was going to show you how to curve it, okay? So this is how it looks. So you can now overlock all the edges. Then here I will trim out the excesses. And I will trim out the excesses on this side as well. So for here, you can use your hemi gum and iron it just to, you know, secure that. Okay? Or you tack it if you like. So this is what I have. So I'm just turning it onto the right side just for you to see how it looks. Can you see? Can you see how curvy this side is? By the time I iron it properly, it will stay very, very well and neat. Okay, so this is it. And this is my pocket. Can you see? So please follow me on Instagram, Thydee Patterns, on TikTok, Thydee Fashion, on Facebook, Thydee Patterns. So for the down part is very simple. Just, you know, fold it this way and use the seam allowance of the plain fabric to cover up the seam allowance, the other seam allowances, and you sew on the right. Sew it from the right side of the fabric. Okay, so this is what I do. I will just use it to cover up and you sew it neatly. This is the side. You can either do it this way or you separate it, but I didn't bother to separate it. I just pushed the seam allowance to one side and use the other one to cover it. So this is what I have, and of course I'll be showing you the outcome. Can you see how neat this is? So these are my covered buttons. And I'm arranging them. So you can see my tassel. So I will just put this round the last button and, you know, twist it about 2 times. You put it round and round, then twist it this way, and this is what you have. No need of sewing. Okay, and so this is the final outcome of the kimono dress. You can see how beautiful it's looking on me. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.